Behind every successful man is a woman, but behind every successful woman is also a man who's very protective, who basically gives the ground for his woman to take decisions, build something of her own, and take innovative decisions on her own. No matter how the society says, what the family says, but then he's there for her. So this Women's Week, we are celebrating those women who have successful people behind them, who have protective partners, who also have their own voice, who want to build something on their own. And just like them, we welcome you today, Raksha, in this podcast where we will be talking about your journeys, your struggles, how you managed to build something of your own, and in such an exciting space. So, welcome again.
Thank you so much, Mahima. Thanks
So,
for the opportunity.
no problem. Thank you. We are actually, in pleasure that you came and trying to speak about adventure and, heritage walks that people have actually forgotten these days. So, we'll talk more about it, some interesting incidents that have come up, and also something which people would want to relate to. Where they are not able to get time in their busy life, want to miss out on those adventures. So we'll talk about those things. But first, let's start with a rapid fire round.
Okay.
So we have some chits kept here, Raksha. How you have to do is you have to just pick up, one chit. There's a question inside it. You read the question and answer it in a very crispy manner, whatever you like. It's basically rapid fire. So whatever comes to your mind quickly, you have to answer that.
Okay. Okay.
So solo passport, here she goes.
Okay. What's the most jugadu thing you ever did when you were in a situation? So jugadu thing.
You understand the word jugadu, no? Yeah,
so,
perfect.
Yeah, I understand. So jugadu thing, what I did was there are quite a few incidents that happened, but one of the things that I can say is we were about to have a retreat, and we always give a goodie bag as part of a return gift whenever people come on our adventure retreats. And for some reason, one time we could not find the product that we were looking for. So we started searching everywhere, and then I went to the local markets of Malleshwaram trying to find the exact thing. And luckily for us, we found something which was very similar to it. So that was the last minute jugaad that we had to do it to make sure that our standards were kept. And yeah, so that's what happened.
Otherwise, people would have said, "Oh no, this is what I got. This is not what she has got." So yeah, you have to maintain that unilarity in terms of gifts also. Yes,
Absolutely,
perfect.
yeah.
Good, good. So let's go on with the next one.
Okay.
You just have to keep, picking, reading questions, answering. This is like rapid fire. The faster you are, the better it is.
Okay, did your parents ever ask, startup to theek hai, but kaam kya kar rahi ho?
This is one of my favorite questions because I really love when people tell ki bhai parents, because this Kailash Kher, the singer, his dadi, I read in an interview, his dadi once asked कि बेटा गाता तो तू है वो तो ठीक है but काम क्या करता है. So this is what the question came, and I thought I'll just keep it in this and ask people also around. So how was the reaction? Because again, this is very relevant to you, Raksha, by the way, because your startup is also in that manner that people would not take you seriously for that manner. So how do you react when people ask about this?
So that is very true, especially coming from an Indian background.
Yes.
This is a very common question, saying that okay, startup and then you're being an entrepreneur is fine, but where are you going for the job? Where are you earning money? So yeah, I've been asked a lot. In fact, my mom told me that during my last dinner, like the previous night's dinner, and she was like, I was on the phone, I was trying to create content, and she was like, that's not work basically. She's like, you
You have to
studied
tell
so
her,
much.
ma'am,
You
content
studied
creators earn this much money nowadays.
So she was like, you've studied so much, but where are you going for the work? So yeah, I do get asked this question very often. Nowadays, I've started to say that I basically don't do anything. I just have a plant. I just like plug the leaves.
That's good.
And then that's what I use instead of the money. So
No, that's a classic comeback example of what you should be giving to your relatives. Yeah,
yes,
right.
yeah.
Let's go on to the next one.
Okay.
I think it's already getting fiery. Let's add more fire to your answers now.
Okay, does Bangalore traffic has anything to do with productivity as an excuse? Yes, absolutely. There are many times where so my heritage walks happen really early in the morning, and sometimes I do sleep over and I get up late. So sometimes I've used traffic as an excuse to reach on time. So yeah, that's
So has it ever happened that people, the retreat people, whoever has joined your program, reach before you and they're like, "Where is Raksha? Where is Raksha?" They're calling you, and then you're like, "I'm stuck in Bangalore traffic. What to do?" Has that happened ever with you?
so not about the retreat because our retreats are usually worldwide. So we are usually flying in. But then for heritage walks, it has happened. Yeah. So for
How
example,
embarrassing was?
it is quite embarrassing because for example, just last weekend I had a heritage walk in Whitefield and I stay in Malleshwaram. So it takes about 2 hours to get to Whitefield. And people had reached before me and they were just calling me, "Where are you guys?" So yeah, it does get embarrassing sometimes. Okay.
Yeah, next one.
So I'm going with the pink, which is my favorite. So one negotiation tactic that you would have mastered with clients and they love you about that. So not exactly negotiation. We are quite honest in our company. So we are very honest about what we are actually expecting and what our expectations are. And also we talk to the clients about what their expectations are. So whenever we take people on adventure retreats, we always have a filtration process before that. So we always have an interview process. So that I think people have always appreciated because one bad apple can ruin the entire experience of the retreat. So we try to do that before.
Right. Good one. Good one.
What's that one thing that your team members hate about you, but you know is the best? So, what one thing that, okay, I'm very detailed, especially on my heritage walks and stuff. I need to be on time and then I try to maintain the exact timings and even like make sure that everything is provided, like spoon fed. So we give all the information to the clients and stuff, and yeah, some of my
So they get frustrated, like, why is she speaking so much?
Exactly.
Everything. Like, we learn
Yeah.
about the walk, but why? Okay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so that is
You
something
dig a
that
lot deeper.
yes, yeah, I do. Okay, so cafe से काम किया है कभी? Which one is the best cafe? Where do you think you can find customers? So I think every cafe these days in Bangalore is really good. But what I've understood is somewhere out, like we consider these areas as outskirts, like Whitefield and Sachapur and all those things, because I come from old Bangalore. But those are the best areas, and those are the best areas where you can find good cafes that have a lot of professionals and entrepreneurs and stuff, and they are like really amazing clients.
So, say because Starbucks and third wave type coffee shops where we see people go open their laptops and keep working the entire day with just one coffee kept just next to them. So that same thing happens in old Bangalore also. Has the culture come from there, or is it?
It has actually come from these areas to the old Bangalore. So we do, I mean, I come from Malleshwaram and you literally can count how many cafes we have because we have a lot of darshinis, which are mostly like fast food, South Indian food, where you stand quickly and then eat and then move out. Yeah, so those are the kind of darshinis we have. Cafes are hardly like 4 or 5 of them. But having said that, we do have a lot of working communities there. So people have started to get their laptops and they work from cafes. Even I do that sometimes. Yeah.
So would you rather go talk to some people in the cafe? For example, you're having a coffee at Starbucks and you will want to talk to 10 more people and tell, see, this is what I do. These are some heritage walks that are coming up in the next week. Would you rather go talk to them directly, or how do you approach marketing in that manner?
So I believe in not direct sales like that. So I usually build up my network. So we have very good communities these days. So even Bengaluru Prayana, which is all into heritage walks. So I have a very strong WhatsApp community of 650 people. So it's very good, and I'm building that community for past 2.5 years. And then I have a community for trekking groups. So we are more than 350 members where we go on hikes, and it's a non-monetary kind of a community that we have. So we just find trek mates and then we go do that. And then I have a scuba diving community where we are like building really strong community where we can talk anything and everything about scuba diving, even about like people who are interested in it, not just like getting certified or anything. So if they want to learn about marine life and stuff, so we are building that community. And also we have a travelers community where people can ask anything and everything about travel. And we have a lot of travel bloggers as well who are part of it, and then there's questions that are answered and everything. So that is what I believe in. So that's how I approach. If I go to a cafe, I talk to people, but it's mostly to build that community rather than direct sales. and that always helps, I feel. Yeah.
Right. No, 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 that's right. The network effect is actually, a strong foundation for your business. One question I'm very tempted to ask Raksha, although it's not in the chits right now, like, has any Hrithik Roshan type personality come to you of Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, who was afraid of scuba diving, but then you made him, feel, जैसे उसमें Katrina Kaif tells him कि अरे यार ये life है, होता है, and then has that person like really thanked you from the bottom of his heart or her heart that Raksha, you have made my life what I was thinking. ऐसा कोई जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा टाइप मोमेंट हुआ है?
We've had quite a lot of moments like that. So people who did not even know how to swim came on our retreats, and they loved scuba diving so much that they actually want to become get certified and become open water divers now.
So वो इमोशनल मोमेंट also होता है कि वो लोग रोते हैं and like that emotions flow up and this.
Yeah, they come out of it and they give us a very tight hug, and so they do that. So there was one retreat that we did in Andamans, and there was this young girl who came on the retreat, and she had a bit of issue with respect to water, getting into a confined space and stuff. But what she said was, I saw that your name was Raksha and you were a rescue diver. That was enough for me to come on the retreat. So she came on it. She loved diving so much that she is considering coming on more retreats with us to do the diving.
I think your name justifies the work that you are doing. Right. No, there's a sense of, resonance when somebody listens that your name is Raksha. So plus, such a sweet personality you have, then, people would like to resonate more and they're like, Raksha hai to koi problem nahi hai. Even if you don't know swimming, it's okay. Because I think most people have this question in scuba diving also that मुझे तो swimming नहीं आता, how will I go inside, like would I come alive back? जैसे वो ऋतिक रोशन का भी वो जो एक anxiety था उसमें, कि मतलब मुझे डर लगता है पानी से, so वो actual होता है, people fear water, but then like you said कि people are coming hugging you, having faith in your name more than you. So I think that's a good part. I think we'll talk about this once we finish off this round, and I would love to know more stories about that. So let's just go ahead.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe in fake it till you make it? I think unfortunately this has become very true these days.
This actually takes you back when you started off. So this question is like very, in the honest of your journey when you were just beginning.
So my business partner, her name is also Raksha, by the way. Raksha and Raksha.
Raksha and Raksha, two Rakshas.
Circles.
Two into Raksha, yeah.
So we both are very honest, and we tell the way it is usually. And I think that's what people have really liked about us. And we are very honest. We keep it very real as well. So we do not believe in faking it usually. But I have seen the other businesses and stuff, and it does work sometimes, especially in the social media.
Right.
Yeah, so I feel like about 7 to 8 it does work. Yeah. Okay, if your company had a Bumble bio, what would that say?
Bumble, you spoke the word very softly. Bumble bio, Bumble bio. Okay, keep it Tinder if I think our audience might also be somebody who's the millennial generation or maybe the other generation or the Gen Z ones. How do you say that if you had a Tinder bio, how would it had been? Just one quirky line when people can do a lot of right swipes to know you better in that sense. To know your company better, actually, not you better.
For open sky circles, I think it would be wild, spicy and hot. And then
I think this is a good one.
And then for Bengaluru Prayana, it is more like cultural sanskari and...
Oh my god. Two women, two different personalities of the same woman. Okay.
Exactly. So...
Raksha.
Yeah.
Who is Raksha? Good. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it would be.
Right. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
What is the most Bangalore thing about running and choosing Bangalore as the city? So because I come from old Bangalore, I really enjoy the old traditions and the cultural side that it has. Just getting up in the morning and going to local temples and socializing with your neighbors. That's something that exists even today, and that's the Bangalore thing that I've seen while growing up. So I think that definitely helps in my Bengaluru Prayana company. Yeah. Okay, the last one. Yeah. What is that funniest or weirdest customer feedback you've ever got till date?
I think the one you told about Raksha can also be included in this one. But then if you have more examples, I would love to know more. This shit should have come before when you were talking about the example.
That is
but then,
true. Yeah, I think that was one of the major things, the different kind of feedback that we got. Else, otherwise, people have always said how they love our retreats and how enterprising we are and how approachable we are. So that is something that they always give as a feedback. But yeah.
So I think this is done now. So let's come to your companies, to your journey specifically. This rapid fire round was basically just to know you better and just to put you in a spot where you would want to answer it, and then we will entice you to answer that. So yeah, talking about you, Raksha, where do you come from? How's your journey been? Why did you choose entrepreneurship as your this? Like, were you working somewhere before? Something about your journey.
Okay. So, yeah, my name is Raksha Nagraj. So, I am a fourth generation Bangalorean. So, for me, summer holidays used to be going from one area to the other area, not from one city to the other city. So, it was always Bangalore. And I did my engineering like everybody else in Bangalore. So, that's something that we were doing. And I also studied in IIT Bombay. I did my general management in IIT Bombay. And then after that, I went to Australia. So I worked there for 10 years in Sydney, and 2 years I was in Canberra and Melbourne as well. So I've been in Australia for 12 years, and I was having a great job there. I was working as a product manager, business analyst, and project management and all those things. But there was something that was missing. So I always was connected to my roots, and I always would come back to India every 6 months. So this was familiar for me. This was home, and my entire family lived here, and I was living there, and I did have a excellent community there as well. Like, I had amazing friends. We had a lot of party life and stuff, but then I don't know, for some reason I always kept coming back. And
So
then
did that idea of your startup also originate from Australia, or you're wanting to come back to Bangalore?
I just wanted to come back to Bangalore, especially after pandemic. I realized family is more important, so I decided to come here and see if I will be able to adjust in Bangalore, because it was a huge gap of 10 years. So I came back, and then all my friends had moved out of Bangalore. So basically, I did not have any community to go to. And there were a lot of meetups that were happening, but it was more on the dinner, drinks kind of meetups. I'm not saying that is wrong, but that was the kind of group that was meeting, and I could not relate to them. And also, I had heard enough about traffic about Bangalore. Traffic, water scarcity, and there's nothing in Bangalore, and there was a lot of things that people used to say. And that's when Bengaluru Prayana came into my mind. And I spoke to one of my friends, and she and I we decided to start Bengaluru Prayana. Prayana means journey in Bangalore. So we wanted to show the things that are there in Bangalore itself. So we started conducting heritage walks. We started with 2 walks in Malleshwaram. That's where I come from. We did a street art walk and a heritage walk. The response that actually we got was amazing. So the people were really interested. They wanted to get connected to the city. This was 4 years ago. So I started working again in IT, and then I went back to Sydney because I was called back after pandemic, and then again I decided no, I have to go back to Bangalore. So I resigned and I came here, and Bengaluru Prayana has grown very exponentially. And
So you were managing from Australia also.
yes, yeah. So we were not very frequent about the walks, but we were doing walks whenever here and there. And so Bengaluru Prana has 3 parts. One is the heritage walks. The other one is a community that I'm building. So we have more than 650 members in that community, WhatsApp community. And then the third
Across
one,
all age groups, across all genders.
absolutely, yeah. So I have had even small kids like 5 years old, 6 years old come, and I've had people who are like 70 years old come as well. So it's been like very welcoming. So that is one thing. And then the third one was about the content itself. So I have a website, bengaluruprayana.com, where I write a lot about Bangalore, and I work with different brands. So I do a lot of collaborations and stuff, and I write a lot about them. I usually write about blogs and stuff. So they are the 3 parts that I do. So that happened like 4 years ago, and now we've been doing a lot of heritage walks very regularly. So almost every month we have a walk, and I'm collaborating with other heritage walking groups as well, where we are doing it together because it's a win-win. The purpose is to show Bangalore. So that's what we have been doing, and we do that a lot. So that's Bengaluru Prayana. And then I have a second company which I opened with another travel blogger friend of mine. Her name is also Raksha, as I said. So we both.
The spicy Raksha, I remember. Yeah.
So both of us, we started Open Sky Circles, and we have been solo travelers for
The
a
name
very
of the
long
company is
time.
Open Sky Circles.
Yes. So Open Sky, which means it's inclusive. So does not matter. We wanted to build a community which is not judgmental. So we feel that we both have been very misfit to the community. We don't follow whatever the community has set standards. We have lived our life the way we wanted to. And we wanted to have that kind of community where people can come and talk openly about what they think without being judged. So that's the community that we are building. So that's why Open Sky, and then the circles is a community itself. So that's what we are doing, and I have been a solo traveler for more than 12 years. I have traveled to more than 55 countries, and I've been to all the 7 continents.
You're living the dream life of every woman that is present on earth. No, that's not.
So yeah, I've been to all of them, and then that's when I decided.
So how does that solo traveling feel, Raksha, otherwise?
It is very liberating, actually. So yeah, I'm been a single child, and I was very protected. So coming from a traditional Malleshwaram kind of an area, I was very protected, and I was not allowed to go anywhere. Like, I was treated very well, but then it was more like, oh, be careful, world might be really a bad place. But then when I did my first solo traveling, I remember it was so liberating, and I realized that people are not that bad, like how we think. So world is not as bad as what we have.
I think
been.
half of the misery is only in the head until you face it.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what I started doing, and initially I was a bit more cautious about my planning and everything. Now I just book flight tickets and I go, and I wouldn't have booked anything. Like, I wouldn't know anything. I just go there and figure out. That's the stage that I've come to, where I can live and be there in any place.
Okay, I mean abroad also you just book the flight
Yes.
tickets, go there, then,
Yeah.
then search for hotels.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what, like, maybe first night I book hotels, and then later on I start finding out where I can go and stay, and then I just go with the flow. So sometimes I've just booked only one way tickets. So there are a lot of things that I'm experimenting now, because this all comes with experience. Yeah, so people used to message me on Solo Passport. That is where I used to document all my travels and
Solo Passport is the username you have on Instagram.
Exactly, yeah. So solopassport.com as well. I have a website with the same name. So I used to document all my travels, and people used to message me, especially women in India, because it's still a big taboo going solo, and it is scary for people. So they used to message me asking if they could join me for travels. So the same thing used to happen with my other business partner, who also used to get a lot of queries on her this thing Instagram as well, asking if they could travel with her. So we both decided, why not start Open Sky Circle.
So you just take only women around, or you also take?
We take everybody. So we've had men as well come to our retreats. So mostly we have women because they feel more comfortable, because it's women owned. Yeah. So but then we've had men as well who have come, and so yeah, we take them on adventure retreats, and both of us are certified divers. I'm a rescue diver. So yeah, so we introduce people to diving, and we've had more than 95% of the success rate. Even the 2 people who could not do it, they had an issue, because they had, at least they overcame, like, going into the water in the pool. So initially they couldn't even get into the water, close to the water and stuff. So we actually introduced them to the water, and we've always had like 95% success rate. And people who have come with us, they have done scuba diving, every single one of them. And yeah, so they have enjoyed, and some of them have now decided to become certified divers because of that. So yeah.
That's a huge thing, because people, when they're afraid of something and then somebody comes and tells them, I am there, so that backup. So that, the idea of doing this podcast also, Raksha, was this, that we wanted to congratulate those men also who basically help their partners to stand up, build something of their own. So similar to the experiences that you're telling, I feel if you are a strong pillar for them, telling that, okay, nothing will happen, come with me, you'll get the best of your life. So I think these things matter a lot in the long run, because everybody wants experiences. Apart from experiences, nobody is concerned about, because otherwise there's a regular life. So the experiences is what that matter, and plus that is a memory that they carry on forever in their hearts. That is good. I think your space is very exciting. Now I also feel that I should leave everything and come with you to travel that way. No, no, that's nice. So, like, how do you plan to expand this space which you are in? Like, what are your future plans for expanding? Anything that you have planned so far for how you would want to take both these businesses together? How are you able to manage these two businesses also at the same time?
Yeah, so it's been a little bit of challenge managing both the businesses because both require my full time.
Yeah.
And literally, I'm working from morning 9 o'clock till in the night 2 3. So that's how hard it is. But then the future goals is Bengaluru Prayana. As I said, the vision started with like showcasing Bangalore as something that had a lot of heritage and history. So I really want to document, and we have a small projects that are running right now, where we are documenting about heritage buildings, where we are documenting about even the food that we used to eat when we were growing up. So those are the small projects that are running, and also about the murals that are being done in the city to beautify it, and also to showcase what existed in Bangalore itself. So yeah, there are tiny projects that are running, and that's something that we really want to do future as well, where we document what is going away right now because of the urbanization or even the infrastructure building and stuff. So there have been a lot of heritage buildings that have been brought down. And also, if we could do something for the community while all of us come together, because there, it's not just Bengaluru Prayana, there are other companies as well which are working towards the same goal. If we all come together and we work towards the same goal, it would be better actually, because it's a more collective event. So I think that's something that I really see happening with Bengaluru Prayana. And more heritage walks, because I do heritage walks in the olden part of Bangalore, which is Malleshwaram, Gavipuram and Alsur. So they are the walks that not everybody does. And now with another company, I have started Whitefield as well, because Whitefield also has history. Yeah, so that's something that we've started. So yeah, that's what I want to do with Bengaluru Prayana. About open sky circles, we definitely want people to become more adventurous, especially for people who are in their 30s and 40s. So what happens is 20s, it's easier for them to go on adventurous activities. So they can always do scuba diving and hiking because they are not scared of anything. Whereas as soon as they become older, there is some fear that sets in. So they want someone where they have a group where they can go with. They feel more comfortable. So that's the kind of people we are aiming at, 30s and 40s. And we want more people to actually experience scuba diving, because it's a wonderful world out there, and many people don't get to see it. And we really want people to understand and appreciate as well. So it's not just about going and scuba diving. It's more about understanding the marine life, the ecosystem itself, and appreciating it and not destroying it. So because I think it is very important that people start respecting and some kind of conserve what we have. So that's something that we really believe in it, and we also have a lot of sessions on those. So for example, if we are going to Lakshadweep, which is happening in April, we will always make sure that we have expert session talks over it. So we talk about the ecosystem of Lakshadweep, we talk about the marine life of Lakshadweep, how people can help, and how they can actually save the environment and the ocean. So that's something that we talk, and that's usually led by the experts, the marine biologists or someone in the dive centers who've had a lot of experience. So that's something that we want to introduce. And of course, we want to have more of other adventure activities like hiking. So I am an avid trekker. I go to the Himalayas like 2 or 3 times a year, and I believe in scaling every mountain that exists and stuff. So, and it is an amazing sport where people can actually do their exercise and be fit as well. So that's something that we are introducing. So we are doing Kazakhstan and Georgia as well as a retreat. So these are the retreats that we are introducing, and that's what we see as our goal, because we want more people to come and do adventurous activities. And I don't think that exists right now in India. There's a huge gap.
And I think in Indian women, like you just said, the fear of moving out also alone, solo, though I think it's like a different case all of a sudden. But apart from that, also moving out, exploring places. This is not very Indianized, womanized thing that especially happens in India. That's right. So I think it's very difficult to ask you also, Raksha, like whether you are a mountain person or a beach person. That will usually people ask. So I think you are a scuba diver also. You are also a trekker. So I think that balances out both the things that asking you this question would actually not make sense. But no, that's a good part that you're managing both the things together. Plus, a lot of people from all age groups are coming, so which is exciting to see. Women from all over the world, plus men also, like you said, plus a 5-year-old person also being in your group. I think they want to be a part of the community, so that's very exciting. The other part of life is what they're seeing at such a young age. So which is good. And any advice that you would like to give to young women out there who want to probably venture out into the market, probably build something of their own, or also travel, because this is like a very, very generic question we were asking everybody about the what they want to do in life, but it can be applied to you here, that they want to venture out, do something of their own. How do you think the society is very hostile, I understand, but how would you give them an advice that go out, break that barrier, Mrs. Movie jo aajkal, that that's creating waves. So how would you make that Sanya Malhotra out of them ki chalo jao and do things what you want to do?
Yeah, so I always tell people that you have to try, because unless you try, you would never know whether you would succeed or not.
Right.
And the maximum what would happen, you would just fail. So that's the max that can happen. So you always go out there and try it out. And I think that's the best thing that people can do. And also just that it helps talking to your mentors sometimes. So find a mentor who can actually help you out, because you won't have solution to everything. So it is always best to have those mentors who can guide you and help you out in different aspects.
Right.
So always find your mentors before actually investing or getting into the startup space or even becoming an entrepreneur. Just have that clear thought.
Right. I think it double validates your thinking also. Plus, you feel confident that there's somebody standing as a strong pillar behind you, even if you do not perform it well.
Correct, yeah.
No, thank you so much, Raksha, for being here today, talking about so many experiences. Anything I think if I missed, you want to share it as an afterthought of our podcast being closing, or I think the Raksha experience, I still have it in mind, so I'll always remember the 2x Raksha plus the small people in the community. I think that is something interesting that we would also like to highlight. But apart from that, any particular incident that you would recall, some Bollywood wala moment that somebody has shared it with you, or something that's like out of nowhere that comes out and you want to share it on camera?
So one of the things, Bollywood moment, that happened in Jan actually. So
Okay,
in December,
nice.
some a lady actually posted in our Bengaluru Prayana community,
Okay.
WhatsApp community, saying that she was looking for somebody in Bangalore, and she stayed here about 25 years ago. And this lady was a PG owner,
Okay.
and the one who was searching was from Chennai. So she posted that, can you help me find, this is the address of the house, and can you help me find this PG auntie whom I used to get connected, and I've lost touch with her and stuff.
Okay.
So people got really, because we are scared these days, right? Somebody is posted like randomly on a group, and then people became very suspicious and stuff.
Right.
So we decided to stop it there, and I was traveling at that time. So I didn't say anything, but then when I came back in Jan, there was another guy called as Bajish who belongs to the community. He and we actually went to the address which auntie had given. Obviously, the addresses have changed after 25 years. We were searching. We went door by door in Jayanagar trying to find this auntie, and luckily we found that auntie now. So we actually found her, and what happened was we did not actually give that auntie's number to the Chennai lady, but we gave the Chennai auntie's number to the PG owner lady. And so that's where it ended, and we came back and we were hoping that they would call. They actually reconnected after that. And
What was their relation? So it's like
random. So she used to be a tenant, like she used to stay in that PG with that this thing, and she was trying to get connected to her after 25 years. And we were able to actually reconnect them after 25 years. And the kind of sweet messages that I got, because we were running this community and we went and found this auntie, was amazing. And even though when we actually went to give the number of the Chennai auntie to this PG auntie, there was a guy over there, like I think her son-in-law or someone. He actually told us, God bless you, and he was very happy that somebody was taking this effort of going and finding someone. And we actually thought we would be arrested that day because of randomly going door to door, but which did not happen. So it was a kind of very sweet moment.
It's a brave moment also on your part, Raksha, that you decided to actually help someone in that, because I would never think of helping somebody, because again, like you said, it's a scary moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice. Thank you so much for sharing the example, and thank you so much for coming again, Raksha. We had a great time chatting with you, knowing more about that space, and I hope more and more women, men, and people from all age groups join your community. We'll put your link in the end for this video, and thank you so much again. Yeah.
Likewise, Mahima. Thanks a lot for this opportunity. And I think it's an amazing thing that you're doing, getting all the women out there and to talk about their
Specifically, we
ventures.
wanted to talk about the Women's Day week so that women also feel valued, and not just women. Also, we wanted men to feel valued because
Yeah.
those are the people who are usually latent. They do not get noticed by a lot of people because Women's Day is always about all women. Nobody
Yeah.
talks about men in
True.
general. So that is what we wanted to say, that not just women but men who are supporting women should also be celebrated at the same time.
That's very true.
When is Men's Day coming? Nobody knows. But at least we celebrate Women's Day, so that's why we thought like let's celebrate Men's Day also together. But even within a woman, there is a man hidden inside that. So
True. Thanks
yeah,
a lot.
thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yeah.